We're actually going to start in Savasana tonight, which is very unusual for a Thursday, I know. But I think a lot of us have had a really crazy week. And I think it's time to just start our yoga with our breath and connecting with it. So let's go down. Gently rolling all the way down. And we'll start tonight's practice drawing our awareness to the breath, reconnecting to our inner being, and repairing any of the frayed seams that may have fallen apart a little bit throughout a crazy week. Taking a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Filling the lungs big with oxygen, expanding the rib cage laterally. Noticing where the breath comes into the body, following the exhalation all the way to the end. And allowing our breath to assume its natural rhythm, in through the nose and out through the nose. Feeling the contact of our weight and our body on the floor beneath us, grounded into the mat. Running through a body scan from head to toe just to get a sense of the mood of the body. Any areas of lightness or tension, comfort or discomfort. Taking a moment to set an intention for today's practice. And bringing our awareness back to the sounds of the space around us. We'll draw our feet into 90 degrees, firmly planting them on the floor beneath us. Go ahead and give them a big hug, wrapping our arms around the shins, drawing our heads off the mat, curling up into a little ball. Lowering the feet back down to the mat, bringing our arms out, taking a deep breath in, and on the exhale we'll curl up into a ball again, hugging the knees in. On the inhale we'll float our way back down to the mat, opening our arms, maybe even butterflying the legs. Exhale, we curl up into a ball. We're floating through these two motions, connecting our breath to our movement, slowly warming up our spine. Possibly the inner temperature of our bodies, activating the Ujjayi breath. Floating slowly and gracefully. We'll do one more. And then floating our legs back down mat, extending the right leg long, drawing the left leg in. And then switching that left knee, twisting it over top of our bodies over to the right and gazing to the left spinal twist. Gentle. Back to center. Letting the left leg float back to the mat and the right leg will hug in. Go ahead and extend the left leg long if you like. And draw the right knee into the chest. And then go ahead and rotate into your spinal twist, bringing the right knee over to the left, gazing to the right. Next inhale, we'll come back to center. Once again, bringing both feet back to 90 degrees, about hip width apart. We're going to do our hugs again, but on the inhale, we're going to reach our arms up and create a hip bridge. So let's go ahead and extend the arms over the head. Inhaling, bringing the hips off the ground, squeezing the inner thighs towards one another. Exhale, we lower down and then curl up into our ball again. Inhale, we float the arms and the hips up. Maybe we go in a box type of breath. Taking the time we need to connect with the breath and to notice the sensations in our bodies. One more. Finishing that, extending the arms and the legs long. Arching the lower back, taking deep breaths into the abdomen. Finding the breath drawn all the way through the nose, down into the lower spine and abdomen. And we'll go through a series of hollow holds, so taking deep breaths in. On the exhale, we bring our heels and our arms off the mat. Inhale, we lower back down. Trying to float up as well as down. Going to the rhythm of our breath again. Keeping our arms along the sides of our ears, coming up about a foot off the mat. Inhale, lower. Exhale, we rise. Let's do two more. Good. Now that we've got our Ujjayi breath working for us, deep breath in. Hug it in on the exhale. Rocking side to side maybe. Just massaging our lower backs. And let's go ahead and extend the legs over top of our hips. And we're going to scissor the legs. Option to bring the arms over top of our heads again. And then chop to one side of the leg and then the other. Scissoring the legs and chopping the arms to the outside. Good. Inhale, we reach the arms up. Exhale, we chop. Pressing our spines into the mat. Feeling the rounding of our lower back. One more on each side. Calm strength. Finding our grounding from within. And go ahead and curl it in one more time for a hug. Maybe noticing a bit of relief in the hip joints as they're warming up. And let's roll over and into all fours. Get a little warm up there. Bringing our hands underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips, and we'll go ahead and just shift left and right. Maybe shifting the hips. Starting to warm up the lower back laterally. Wrists as we press our weight one side to the other. Allowing our heads to float in the opposite direction. Whatever speed works for you. And go ahead and roll around in a circle. Maybe sinking the hips all the way back, coming over the shoulders, adding some lateral flexion. As big or as little as circles as suits you. Noticing how the body is feeling, what muscles and joints might be talking to you. One more. And then we'll switch sides, directions. Noticing how you might move differently this way. One more time. Then we come back to neutral, coming up on our fingertips, and we'll do a perched cat and cow series. Inhaling, draw the tailbone up. And we lift the chest to the head. Exhale, starting with the tailbone, rounding out the spine, neck, and letting the head fall. Inhaling. Smiles on our faces. Exhale, we round back out, looking towards our feet. Two more times. Good, and we stay here in our perched cow. Deep breaths in. On the exhale, we hinge back, sinking our hips towards our feet, drawing our hands off the mat. Inhaling, we reach all the way up, bringing our glutes forward. Exhale, we lower back down. Inhale. Repeat our cat-cow. Exhale. And then we draw ourselves up. All the way reaching. And exhale back into all fours. Cat-cow. Noticing the opening of the abdomen. Inhale, sinking back. Maybe a slight back bend. Back to our cat-cow. Adding as much depth to the poses as suits you. We'll do one more float. And we come back to neutral. Pressing our hands back underneath our shoulders, widening our toes, and we'll come up into a frog down dog. Deep breaths in. Exhale up, frog down dog, and deep pedaling of the feet, holding that one knee, noticing the diagonal pattern between the foot that you're pressing the heel into the mat and the opposite hand. Taking a few deep breaths here. Creating new patterns in our bodies and energizing the back of our legs, releasing the blocked tension and energy that we may be holding. And then pedaling to the opposite side, pressing the opposite heel into the mat, breathing the leg long. Pressing the opposite hand into the earth. Allowing the head to hang heavy. Now let's go back to the opposite side, and perhaps you want to hold, perhaps you would rather pedal. One breath at a time. Those myofascial tissue lines, opening up the energy channels of our legs. Often we hold a lot of tension here, especially from sitting. Good. Now coming up on both toes, bending the knees, lifting the hips as high as possible. Pressing the hands and the shoulders into the mat. Chest is lowering. Bending, bending. Breathe through it. Calming our nervous system with the breath. Gripping the mat with our fingers and our toes. Trying to lift the heels off the mat as much as possible. And go ahead and press the heels back towards the mat. Let's lift the right leg off the mat, 90-degree angle, wiggling the foot. And place the right foot back down, lifting the left, wiggle it around. bringing the left foot back, lifting the right to 90, floating ourselves into a plank, tucking the knee into our chest. We're holding here. Holding for 2 breaths. On the exhale, we bring the leg back 90 degrees. Inhale, come back into the plank, holding for 2 breaths. Deep breaths in. Exhale, back to 90, maybe extending the leg long this time, pressing the foot against, like we're against the wall behind us. Inhaling back to plank. Holding for 2, calm, strong, using our breath to calm our inner nervous systems. Deep breath. And we extend all the way back, maybe lifting the right leg this time a little bit higher. Inhaling back to our plank. Holding for 2 breaths. Exhale, extend back, this time bending the knee, rotating the hips, stacking the right knee on top of our hip, looking underneath the left arm towards the foot that's floating in the air. Pressing the left leg back towards the wall, pressing the heel in towards the mat, opening the hips. Inhaling, we center, come back to our plank last time. Inhale. Exhale, extend. And go ahead and lower the right leg. Pedal it out. Nice. Coming down to child's pose at any time you might need to reset. And then we'll go ahead and repeat the sequence on the other arm. Good. When you're ready, lifting the left leg off the mat, 90 degrees, flexing the foot. Inhaling, floating to plank, holding for breath, 2 breaths. We extend on the exhale. 90-degree leg. Floating back to our plank on the inhale. Holding for 2. Extending on the exhale, straightening the leg parallel to the floor, flexing the foot, pressing against that imaginary wall. Inhale, we float back to plank. Deep breaths in. Exhale, we extend the leg higher this time. Deep breath in, pressing the right heel towards the mat. Inhale, floating to plank. Next exhale, we press back. Bending the knee, rotating the hips open, looking underneath the right arm towards the left heel. Noticing what's happening in the hips and the lower back. Good. Rotating back to center, inhaling to plank. Last time. Holding for 2, feeling the shoulders light up. And extend back. Good job. Lower the left leg. Pedal it out. And then you're welcome to float back down into child's pose, and we'll all meet there for a few breaths. Lowering our knees, flattening our feet, extending, maybe shifting the hips left and right, coming off of the hands, making fists and maybe pressing the back of the hands towards one another. Yay for that. back into all fours. Maybe taking a sip of water. We're done with our plank set. We're going to do some lunges now. Yay for that. Good. On the exhale, we curl our toes, pressing up into down dog. Lifting the right leg off the mat. Inhale, gazing forward, coming up on the left toes, stepping through into our lunge. You're welcome to stay high here or lower the left knee down, whatever suits you best today. If you're staying high, press the left leg back, lifting the knee as we engage the left quadricep, and we inhale, lifting the arms up. Exhale, floating the arms to cactus. Inhale, we rise up, straightening the front leg. Exhale, we lower, opening to cactus. Inhale, we float up. Exhale, we lower. Go ahead and float to your breath. Drawing the shoulder blades together, lifting the chest, and then elongating the spine from tailbone to crown of the head. Find the grounding in your feet. Two more. Bringing our hands to heart center, coming into a twist. Again, you are welcome to bring the left knee to the mat. If not, pressing away with the left knee, pressing the back of the knee towards the sky, gazing up beyond the right elbow. Finding grounding in our feet, maybe walking the right foot out a little bit for stability. And checking in with the hip. Shake it off. Pressing the right shoulder blade back. What's happening in the face and the jaw? Are we holding tension there? Opening up the arms, wide, 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 wide. Bring the hands back to prayer. Plant them on the floor. No. Stepping back into our down dog. Oh, pedal it out. Good job. Good job. Pedal that out, pressing the right heel towards the mat. Good. On the next inhale, lift our left leg off the mat. Gazing forward, coming up on the toes of the right foot, we step into our lunge, helping the foot as needed, stabilizing so that our weight is balanced half and half. On the inhale, we bring our arms up. Good. Exhale, bringing the arms into cactus. If you're standing, go ahead and straighten. And lower. Lifting the chest, arching the back. Finding a flow that suits your breath. Using the breath to guide our movements and to activate the parasympathetic nervous system to calm our nervous system. Good job. Last one. Inhale, bringing the hands into heart center. And we lower down into a prayer twist. Good. Option to keep yourself low on the mat. Option to stay high, engaging the right quadricep, gazing over the left shoulder. Finding grounding in our feet or our shins. Stillness in our breath. Checking in with the neck and the jaw, making sure we're not holding tension. And go ahead and open the arms wide. Good. We rotate back to center, planting the hands, stepping back into down dog. Pedal that out. We're going to float through a vinyasa here, inhaling to plank. Exhaling into cobra. Flattening the feet. Inhale, we press up. Gentle arch at the back, keeping our arms bent. Exhale, we lower. Curling the toes. Kneeling plank. And down dog. Exhale. Good. Taking a breath in between. We'll do 2 more like that. Floating forward on the inhale. Lowering through chaturanga. Flattening and inhaling into cobra. Pressing into a kneeling or a full plank. Exhale, down dog. Take a breath in between. Inhale to plank. Lower through chaturanga. Good control, bringing the elbows into the sides. Inhaling, cobra. Exhale, we flatten. And press up into plank. And down dog. Good. Good. Walking the feet all the way up to the tops of our mat. Coming all the way into a forward fold. And go ahead and just sway left and right. Once again, checking in with the lower back. Bringing our hands into the elbows or allowing them to float. Your choice. Good. Coming to stillness in the center. Knees are bent. Inhale, halfway flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we swoop all the way up. Hands to heart. Good, let's repeat. Inhale all the way up. Cactus swooping. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we swoop up. Exhale, hands to heart, chair. Check in with our chair here. Maybe we have to thrust the hips back so that we can see our toes. Good. Nice. Inhale, we come up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold, all the way up. Extended mountain, exhale, chair. And we'll float all the way back up. Swan dive forward. Halfway. Forward fold. Swoop up. Exhale, chair. Let's do 2 more. Swooping up. Chair. 1 more. Halfway. Swoop up. Chair. Hold here. Taking a look. draw our shins back a bit. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Stepping wide on our mat into our goddess stance. Nice and light with the feet so we can bring the toes off the mat. Taking a look down. We don't want to sink too far. We want to make sure we can see our toes. Good. And into a 5-pointed star, we inhale and exhale, lowering down. Letting those feet float. 3 more. Option to come into sun and moonflowers, inhaling and exhaling, hinging a little bit deeper, sweeping the arms along the mat. Flowing to our breath. One more. And then holding here in goddess. Arms are out, extending from the shoulders, maybe wiggling them around, making sure we can move our hips. We can see our toes. Palms are facing up. Elongating the spine from the tailbone as if we're rooting from the ground through to the sky. Inhale, we reach up with our right arm, adding a side bend. Exhale, we lower back down. Left arm comes up, inhaling, opening up. Maybe not as much as me. We don't want to fall over. Creating space in the side body. Keeping our goddess legs as we come down. One more on each side. And then we straighten up, hinging forward, pointing the toes, adding a bit of an inversion. Rocking forward and back if you like, lifting the toes and the heels, or finding stillness if that's what you prefer at this point in your practice. Good. On the inhale, we bend the knees, we roll ourselves up, coming into warrior two, pivoting the left foot forward, the right foot is 45 degrees, shifting the hips forward. Good. Let's go warrior one, reaching all the way up. Finding grounding between the feet, our weight is evenly distributed. And warrior two, opening up. Good. Rotating the back foot about a 45-degree angle. Easing over the right hand. Lowering the arms. The shoulders are away from the ears. Tucking the pelvis underneath us. Palms straight. Rotating our front hand. Gazing at it and bringing it back into reverse warrior. Keeping our left leg lunged in front of us, reaching the right hand wherever it falls naturally. Opening again the side body, breathing space between the ribs. Deep breaths in, exhale, side angle. Keeping the pelvis tucked underneath us, our right glute is engaged. Gazing up at the right hand, reaching either over top of the body or the head. Pressing through the right foot, reaching and trying to reach as tall as we can with the right hand. Feel the space opening in the right side body. Bring our awareness to the breath. Good. Straightening our front leg. We inhale back into reverse triangle. Staying in the side body. Keeping our hips pressing forward. Deep breaths in, and then exhale, triangle pose. Letting the left hand fall naturally, staying in the tall side body, reaching up with the right hand as tall as we can. Drawing the right shoulder blade back. Go ahead and lower the right hand, pivoting ourselves over the left foot, walking the hands forward with the feet. Oh, yay for that. Go ahead and shift and pedal the legs. Maybe this time we want to reach for one side. Right hand comes to left shin, left hand comes to right. Over to the opposite side, keeping the toes pointing forward. Calming the body, finding stillness in between dynamic movements between the sides of the body. Now let's come back to center. Bending the knees, we roll all the way up. And then we pivot over to the other side. Right foot this time comes forward. Let's step into a warrior one to start. Pressing the left leg back, stabilizing our weight between the legs. And now bringing our arms back parallel to the floor, pivoting the left foot out enough, warrior two. Let's rotate the palms up. Calm strength. Bring back to the breath. And on the next inhale, we'll rotate into our reverse warrior, gazing up at the hand as possible, or finding somewhere else to gaze at. Engaging the left glute to press the pelvis forward. Breathing deeply into the side body. Deep breath in. Exhale, we come into side angle. Keeping the left glute engaged, reaching straight up or beyond the ear. Trying to create a line of energy from the left foot through to the left hand. Inhale, we straighten the front leg, come into reverse triangle. And staying again in the side body, letting the left hand fall naturally where it will on the left leg. Good. Deep breaths in on the exhale, triangle. Again, finding a placement for the right hand. Perhaps you need to support on the shin, the floor, the knee. Reaching straight up over top of the body. Trying to stay in the side body. Keeping the left glute engaged. Strong and tall. Go ahead and float the left arm forward, pivoting once again, coming down to the mat with our hands into our wide angle forward fold. And let's breathe the legs back long. Maybe we pedal them out. Maybe we go left to right. Finding a movement that works for you. Just to rinse out the warriors and the lunges that we've just done. And then lowering all the way down to the mat into rock pose, bringing our knees and our shins down. Sit back on top of our heels. Good. Making fists with our hands, pressing them into the sacrum, opening the shoulders and the chest. Deep breaths in. Gentle arch of the lower back. Drawing the elbows towards one another. Bringing the hands in front of us, interlace, pressing away from us. Inhale, we lift over the head. Exhale, we lower parallel to the floor, rounding the spine again. Inhale, we reach up, opening up the chest and the abdomen. Exhale, round up, lowering the chin to the chest. 3 more. Holding this time all the way up. Bending over to the left or the right. One side. Checking in with the jaw, making sure we're not holding tension there. Inhales back to center. Exhale, other side. One more breath. And then we inhale back to center. Release the hands. Press, 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 press. Exhale out to one side. We come up on the back fingertips. Gentle rotation looking over the shoulder. Deep breaths, laterally breathing, expanding the rib cage. One more. Inhale, we reach up, coming back to center. Exhale, opposite side. Go over the shoulder, gentle rotation. Inhale back to center, reaching up last time. Deep breaths in, arching the lower back. Exhale, we come all the way back down, rounding out, tucking our chins to chest, allowing the hands to fall to our knees. inhale, we'll come back to an erect spine, bringing our hands into heart center, pressing the palms together. Enjoying this moment of having stopped. Noticing the rhythm of our breath. Noticing the mood of the body. The energy that may have changed from the beginning of our class. Taking a moment to reflect on any intention that we set at the beginning of class. Congratulating ourselves for getting to the mat today and making this time for ourselves. The light and strength in me sees the light and strength in you.